Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Friday night edition of the podcast, the Triple B Experience, where we talk about a whole bunch of topics. I got some guests coming in. I set the invites. I know they'll be on momentarily, but you know what? I can keep talking until they get here. We're going to talk about a couple topics and one that's probably going to be a little heated because it's heated on the internet. But I will get through it the best way I know I can. So sit back on a Friday night and actually hang out with me. I'm actually going to have a couple guests on, and we are going to talk some pulp culture and wrestling. So get ready, and you're listening to the Triple B Experience. Welcome, everybody, to another exciting edition of the Triple B Experience. I believe it's episode 61. That's right, 61 episodes that I have so far in this format. I've had a couple different formats that I've actually started when I was doing this podcast since 2018. This is one of many shows that I do. The other one is called the Steelers Dynasty podcast, with myself and my co-host, Shane Stadtmiller. There it is, every Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Now, I know I've talked about this and I've wrote about it. My personal Facebook page, okay? I think I wrote a diagram and whatever I've been doing. My personal Facebook page is not talking so much Steelers anymore. We are doing it on the YouTube channel and on the Facebook Steelers Dynasty podcast. Okay. So I have a lot of Steeler fans that's on my personal Facebook page. They're not saying anything. They're not doing anything. I'm trying to convert them over to that page. So you have to go to the Facebook page to watch the shows, comment, ask questions, because I'm going to be starting to get real heavy, with Steelers season, training camp and a regular season. I'll be going 2 shows a week. And it's on the YouTube channel. Right now, we have about 63 subscribers because we split off from this show, the Experience Show, that has over 1,000 subscribers. So I got 2 YouTube channels, and I'm trying to build them both up with different stuff because the algorithms are totally different. So you have to go to the Steelers Dynasty Facebook page and the Steelers Dynasty YouTube channel. I don't know how much more I can take of telling people, but I've been saying it until I'm blue in the face, because realistically, when we do our NFL picks, that is going to go on the Steelers Dynasty podcast. All football stuff is going to go to that stuff. My personal page, I'm not going to be describing and talking Steelers football. That page is going to be about pulp culture, what I'm doing, me promoting podcasts and promoting the wrestling company, the APWF. So that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. And I know I added a lot of people to my personal page to be Steeler fans. You're not giving me any insight, people. I don't know if you're bots. I don't know what you are, but I will tell you this. If you do not jump over to the Steelers site and start talking Pittsburgh Steelers football, I'm going to start weeding the garden out. Okay? Because that's why I put you on my personal page anyway, because the Steelers stuff was on that all the time. It is no longer on that. So I will definitely weed you out when I get time, because sometimes it takes a lot to, get it out there. So I just want to tell you that. So I'm going to resend some links again, because sometimes it happens. I got a comment here. Yes, I'm going to send the link again, because sometimes technology sucks, ladies and gentlemen. I sent the link for our special guests tonight. I'm going to put it back out again. And there it is. There's one. And let me go with this one. I got to get, with that one. So hopefully everybody's having a great night. I've been so busy. I want to give a shout out to 9th Street Corner Deli. Their chicken, bacon, ranch hoagie was phenomenal tonight. I've been slacking on some stuff, so I need to get back on the wagon. It's okay, Shane. On the wagon for actually eating right. So, but hey, I have a lot of stuff to go over. And one of my special guests has just popped in. He's my co-host. He has his own West Virginia talk show when he talks about the Big 12 and the WVU. He probably had it tonight. He had it Thursday. So everybody, and I got the other one in there too. So everybody, welcome to the show. Special field correspondent Shane Stadtmiller. Shane, how you doing tonight?
Doing good. I just did Friday's a solo show, and Bubba, I don't know how you do it week in and week out. You know, I am not Michael Jordan. I am more of a Rodman. I'll rebound and just help out where I can. But
well, you're getting a lot better. I mean, you're doing stuff.
Oh man,
you're on like 4 or 5 nights a week.
I tried to share like stats. And I wanted to hide myself and just show the stats real big, and no one could hear me. And it was like
well, you are a little, you are a little crackly,
Okay.
like not like saltine, but.
Well, I'll pop on and pop back off.
Okay, I'm going to introduce our next special guest tonight. He is the world beater, and he will have one more round with his brother and tag team partner on June 23rd at the S&T Bank Arena. I know we're going to talk about a little bit about that and a little bit about other stuff because that's what we do on this show. So it's my pleasure to welcome the Imagine World Heavyweight Champion, Chris Coleman. Chris, how you doing?
Good, Bubba. How are you?
I like when you do that fist. It takes up the whole screen. The whole screen. Shane was bebopping in and out. He had a little technical difficulty. So how you doing, Chris?
Good, Bubba. I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, busier than you could shake a tail at, but I'll keep trudging along.
Busier than a centipede in a toe counting contest.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was talking about how I ate like a chicken bacon ranch hoagie at 9th Street Deli, and it was to die for. So, yeah, I was just talking, Shane, about eating a bacon chicken hoagie. I'll tell you what, it filled me up because I got it grilled and they cut it up in like little it was a 12-inch. And ladies and gentlemen, if you buy hoagies anymore, they're not cheap. But I did get a 12-inch and I did buy, I'm not gonna lie, bought a little piece of cake and some potato salad. So, but hey, I mean, you got to do it sometimes. So. But hey, we got some people in the Facebook chat. I'm liking when we have people in the Facebook chat because I did a little spiel about the Steelers Dynasty podcast.
Yes, I heard that.
What? I got to try to convert them. So hey, Bob Derry's in the house, big Pitt fan. Shane, he's a huge Pitt fan. So
there you go.
On your show when you guys, if they play.
I have the space available. I can get them on the show.
There you go, Bob. You want to talk about Pitt football against West Virginia. And then Alyssa Henry, thanks for tuning in. OG Jacobs, big Steeler guy. Welcome to the show. They have big Steeler parties on the on tailgates during the Steeler games. So, Joseph, get to the Steeler Dynasty podcast, man. Start bringing your people to that on Wednesday nights. Me and Shane, man, we talk Steelers football for a good hour, and our shows are off the chains. So, and then this guy, I got to give him a shout out here. I got to go back and find his stuff. He's the media consultant for the APWF. He's doing a whole bunch of stuff. He's the host of Pro Wrestling Extreme Talk. It's Larry Stryker is in the house. So welcome, King. Hang back. And if you have any questions and comments, I know you don't watch a lot of pulp culture TV unless it's got something to do with the ropes and a pigskin. or if it's the Goonies. But Shane, Bob Derry said he might do that. So yeah, Bob, get a hold of Shane and you can come on his show. So Shane, you've been doing pretty good too. I just asked Chris that same question. You're doing pretty good?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just trying to, the kids are getting used to the summer schedule and
Jesus. It's here. It'll be here before you know it, and then it'll be snowing.
There's kids here every night just kind of hanging out.
Your house is just it's a castle, brother. And Larry says, "Hey guys." So, hey, Chris, I haven't talked to you. Did you retain? I'm guessing you're still the champion because I introduced you that way.
I am still the champion. Yes. Two title defenses recently against Gerard Garrett. I was successful in both.
Oh, so when is now? I have something here on the lovely Indie wrap up because I think this is the only podcast that tries to promote independent wrestling as I do. And I know some people gave me some stuff, and I got to go find that. But I have next week. You might tell me I'm right or wrong. Next week, you guys have a show.
That is correct.
Okay,
June the 15th.
June the 15th. Yeah, there it is, right here with these two guys. These two guys you'll be facing in less than a little over 2 weeks. The Rad Boys, Juniana Civic Association. Do you know who you're going against on June 15th?
I am wrestling the 20-year veteran, the Enigma Lucio DeVere.
Well, don't get any face paint on your shoulders.
Well, I might get my war paint on my shoulders. We'll see.
And then maybe if he doesn't gel his hair, you don't want to poke it in your eye because his hair gets pretty high. And I mean, he's been around what, 20 years plus. Okay.
Yep.
Hey, I mean, you're wrestling 20 years, ladies and gentlemen, independent wrestling, and you're still doing it. You got to give somebody's hats off to you. So let me ask you, does he have a chance in hell?
No.
What a straight face. I like that.
I will tell him the same thing I have told many of my opponents. The only chance he has is within the limits of my mercy.
I love it.
If I feel like being merciful, he'll walk away. If I don't, he won't.
That's funny. That is funny. Merciful. That is good. That is good. Oh my. Well, that show's at the Altoona Juniana Association building.
Yes, the Civics Association building.
Yeah, that's at 7 p.m. bell time. Okay, and I have a couple I got some shows coming up. Tomorrow, Rise Wrestling will be doing. I'm going down to that show to watch the main event. But this match it's like a double main event. Gorgeous Gregory versus Brandon Lee. I tell you what, this Lee kid, I seen him. I'm going to put him up again. I tell you what, he's about 6'3". This will be a good matchup. I tell you what, he impressed me. I like to get him, somewhere that I know here.
Yeah, I mean,
soon.
And Gorgeous Gregory, that kid, the sky's the limit for him. He's given me some of the best fights I've had in years.
And me and Shane saw Gorgeous Gregory at Pros of Wrestling. And then he is the Ascension champion. He's defended against Mr. Lee. And that'll be something. But this is the big main event with double belts. 2 weeks before the APWF show. I'm sure Smooth is a great guy. But this is the matchup. EC3, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. bell time at the Uniontown Mall, going against the champion, NWA Midwestern Champion, Pretty Boy Smooth. Winners take both belts. I'm pulling for EC3.
I mean. But at the same time, PB Smooth has been around quite a while now. He's got some good victories under his belt.
Oh God, that would. I mean, God bless. I mean, for him, God bless that he wins. But for me, how about the 24th of June? You know what I mean? You can, win on the 24th. But we shall see. I mean, hey, it is what it is. And we're getting ready. As everybody knows, in front of my house, Chris, I have a big giant banner that's like 15 feet tall.
I saw the pictures. Yes.
I'm thinking outside the box, and I don't know if you guys know this, but we are over 100 pre-sales that I wrote tonight, which is great. I appreciate everybody that bought tickets ahead. There's a big buzz. And I will say this, and this is no bullshit. And Chris, you remember that show when I'm looking on this poster in my wall here, the July 15th show at the K Arena, and we had Matt Hardy. I guarantee they didn't have no 100 people there. So, and I think you were there, and there wasn't 100.
I was there that night. I was on the other side of the rail at that time, but yes, I was there for that show.
And they didn't. I bet you, to your recollection, there wasn't 100 people.
It was a pretty sparse crowd. I know that.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna admit that it was a terrible crowd with the talent that we had, and poor promoting and poor adjustment on ticket prices, because they were charging $75 tickets. So that has a lot to do with it. I mean, Now hindsight's 2020. But as of right now, I think we are beating that. And we had Matt, I'm looking, Matt Hardy, Rhino. I tagged up with Nikolai Volkov, and right now we are over.
You said $75, right?
They charged $75 tickets.
What year was that?
That was 2005 at the K Arena.
Okay.
And they had different tiers. And you got more based on volume, but let's just say the owner didn't understand the wrestling business and how to promote. And I think he was trying to.
So translate that to today's dollars. Basically, back then you could get, for $75, you could get a lap dance, a 24-inch sub, and an oil change for $75.
That's pretty good.
Weekend is covered.
You get an oil change now, it's $60. That's what cost me the last time I got an oil change about a month ago.
Yeah.
$60.
Yeah. No, seriously. Sub, oil change, lap dance. Boom. $75.
Oh my God. Well, but I just wanted to put that out there to everybody. Tickets are still on sale, and we're going to be up a couple more weeks for that. And we do have the meet and greet as soon as I get this lovely graphic right here, because I have so many graphics. At 2:00, the doors will open. Meet and greet with the NWA World Heavyweight Champion EC3. And then this is the lovely poster. That's, I know, I'm actually, gentlemen, I'm actually hitting downtown tomorrow, and putting the rest of them out. And then I'm going to put out some flyers too. I am going to, now get this. I'm going to the Pride rally and handing out flyers. Yeah. Because it doesn't matter, because they're wrestling fans too.
Yeah.
And I was there. So, I mean, as crazy as it sounds, yes. And everybody deserves to come to this wrestling show, no matter race, color, creed, or national origin. Everybody just has a good time. It supports the Teddy Bear Fun Drive. And the people that are on my staff have been working their asses off to try to bring the best that they possibly can.
You're not going to find a lot of those in the Pride.
Well, yeah, that's another $75. But just to get stuff going, and we have a great main event. We have great matches. And like I said, my staff has been this is probably the best. This is the best of the no bullshit, not kissing anybody's ass. No stress, no politicking, just doing what they need to do to try to make stuff great, and to try to bring wrestling and make independent wrestling around here great again. That's my little slogan. Yeah. So now I know when I was talking to Chris today, and I do have some other wrestling shows that I'll advertise here later. Well, there's one I'm getting a whole bunch of people from West Virginia now at the Richardson Building, June 8th. It's like AAW. Tickets are $10 at the Richardson Building, Parkersburg, West Virginia. Because like I said, I told companies to actually send me stuff, and I will promote them. So, and then there's another one, Sunday, June 20th at 2 p.m. at Ohio at. So I got plenty of time to do that one. And then there's another one, Pro Wrestling Cheap Shots. I think these are at Bridgeport, Ohio. I think it's little Aaron Lester's, couple of Aaron Lester's companies, I believe. But hey, if they're showing them to me, I'll be more than happy to promote them as best as I can. So independent wrestling is everywhere. And Mike Stitz in the house and T Rantula. And speaking of T Rantula, because he's on here, you know what I watched? I watched T Rantula with the Steel City Heavyweight Championship wrestle Cactus Jack at Newcastle, 1995. I saw it, and I don't beat me up, T, but Cactus took the title. So, and then well, I mean, and then T had that long hair, and yeah, it turned into, yeah, where you been, Burns? The Steeler podcast is on Wednesday night, Burns. The Facebook, yes, I not much, Burns. So I can see you can come to this one, but you can't come to the football one. Me and Shane been blowing our minds, But Ralph Williams in the house, and speaking of Ralph, because everybody comes on, and if they come on, I'm trying to promote everybody. Ralph is going to have me on his his podcast now. He got off the radio, and him and Smoking Jim are in Sports Corner. It's a radio show, but he's podcasting on all major formats. I'll be on next week at 5:30. He does a wrestling segment at 5:30. So, Chris, if you ever want to get on to talk wrestling with Ralph Williams, here's the world beater, Ralph Williams. Ralph, if he can come on, I know sometimes his schedule is very busy, right, Chris? And sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't.
It can be. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that'll be next week, 5:30. I'll be promoting the show, like I did at the radio station last week. Boy, that was crazy. That was 22 minutes. You know what was surprising, guys? I didn't swear.
Yeah, I know. I was proud of you.
I know.
Yeah.
Somebody said I was nervous, but I really wasn't nervous.
Nah.
And also, oh my God, I got Mr. Jake Wiley on the Facebook site. Jake, part of the Rad Boys. You want to say hi to him, Chris?
Hello, Mr. Wiley.
It's going to be, Shane, this has never been done. I don't think in any type of APWF history where we had two face teams actually facing. This is very perplexing. Jake is part of the Rad Boys, the hottest, bestest team in the West Coast today.
We're on the East Coast, Bubba.
Oh, that's right. But you know what? They're going to go west because I'm trying to get them west.
Go west, young man. Go west.
Oh, what a day. East,
Chris,
west, north, south.
You take care of them, right?
Well,
Right.
yeah. Well, they can go anywhere. East Coast. I do say east. I meant east, and I said west. Oh, it's, you know what? It's
It's Friday.
Yeah. Well, he must be talking to you. Oh, well, thanks, Burns. It was very professional. Well, I try to be professional. Yeah. So now I know Chris is not big in this debate that we might start here. Before I do this, Jake says respect the team tap out. Rad Boys versus Team Tap Out sells tickets.
All the respect in the world back to the Rad Boys. They are one of the hottest teams on the East Coast. We're excited to wrestle them. Yeah, we really are.
It's going to be something, ladies and gentlemen. I got tickets. I got a big road sign in my yard. I'm going to be handing out flyers tomorrow. I'm going to be hugging kids and kissing babies and washing cars and doing whatever I can, going door to door. Because it's going to be it's coming down to the nitty gritty. You guys should see the ring entrance. It's in my living room right now. I could come out like in my old attire and have the lights and stuff shine on and then slip and fall and take a bump and then be out because my knees messed up, my back. When you get older, it sucks, man. Like, it's just terrible. But I know this has been a hot topic for the last 3 days, Shane, because my Facebook with this Star Wars stuff has been just ridiculous. And I know Chris is like, well, Bob, I'm, but there is some stuff that Chris can talk about with the pulp culture because we, and he can give his opinion on anything. And no, I would love to see that. You and your old tights. No, T. I'm done. I'm not wrestling. No,
only Tammy gets to see the tights now.
Yeah, I'll bring the tights on here, and
keep jabbing them. Keep jabbing them, T. Keep jabbing.
No. I'd have to go in traction and be like Sir William Wallace when at the end of Braveheart and they pulled him and they killed him.
Oh,
that's
they draw
back.
Yeah, they drew and quartered him. Yeah.
Yeah, I need that for my back because my back is so messed up. I've been limping for 3 days because the chipmunk holes in my yard, and you can't, I just found out you cannot kill chipmunks. It's against the law. Yeah. Yeah, I got chipmunks invading like my yard. I got holes. I mow grass. I trip. I tear an ACL. It's amazing. Oh, I know, T. No. He's like, nice. No, God bless you, T. No, I'm not doing it. I'm promoting. I ain't working. I'm not doing it. Craig says, hello, everyone. I wanted to say that Chris Coleman is a fantastic champion.
Thank you. I certainly try my best.
Burns, I tried to do that. I tried to, I did try to get the Rock and Roll Express. I'm not lying. We're trying to get some names in this company, and they were booked. So, and I am not doing that. No. Nope. I'll just do podcasting. T, come on. I'm not old. I'm gonna be 53, but nope, I am not in any way, shape, or form in wrestling shape. You are. I've seen you work. No, I am not. I just want to promote and run my mouth on podcasts. I'm good. I can lift weights. I can jab the speed bag. I'm going to let the stuff, the world beater can do I'm not doing none of that stuff. I am retired. I have no desire. I mean, God bless you, T. God bless everybody, but no. Nope. I got back one show, turned into 3, turned into a whole bunch next year, turned into a ring entrance in my in my living room. No wrestling. No, Braden Pierce. Well, no, not one more match. No. Nope.
All right. So what's all this? What's all this about Star Wars now?
Well, the Star Wars stuff. Okay. Now I've been a Star Wars guy all my life. And Shane has too, I believe. Yeah. Okay, so now I watched the first 5 minutes, and when they killed Kate Moss, I was already done. Like that, yeah. Jedi's just they don't kill Jedi's that quickly anyway.
So Chris, let's paint you a picture. Okay.
Yeah.
You know who Yoda is, right?
Everybody, spoilers ahead if you haven't seen it, I guess.
Oh, yes. It's fucking spoiled from day one. So it's
okay.
So you don't have to worry about it.
I do know some Star Wars. I'm not as big a fan as I am of some of the other pop culture things, but I have seen most of the movies. I haven't seen any.
There it is, right there. There's it all right there.
Okay.
So basically, Jedi Master is like
you're here.
The shit, right?
Yeah, it's Jedi Master and then the Council, right? Okay.
You have this girl who's all of like 20 years old, going against this like kung fu, and it's kung fu Jedi shit now. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're like force fighting, which is stupid as shit, right?
Okay.
Bubba, stop me if I go off the rails. Now, this girl whips out little 3-inch butter knives.
You know the knives that you cut cheese when you do like crackers?
Yeah,
on
when you have a charcuterie board.
Yeah.
Tammy's charcuterie, like she did for the wedding, the charcuterie cutters about that long.
Okay.
So she's like, pew, pew, pew. And of course, the Jedi finally pulls out a sword, the lightsaber, and deflects some of them, and uses the force to push some of them down. Then she looks over to some kind of alien monster, this Tendon Bar. The only person
it was a bartender,
in there,
yeah.
Okay.
And the bartender, it was bring your kid to work day. So he has this little kid with him too. So she's looking down there. And what happens? A butter knife goes into her chest. Okay.
I see.
Kills her.
Right.
Now,
Kills the main star. To me, that was the main star.
Now, other Jedis can get hacked in half, lose an arm, get cut from pecker down, and still survive. And she has this little thing, and she's a girl, so she has a boob, so it's probably just lodged into her boob, and she dies. Oh my! She doesn't say anything. She just drops like a bag of shit, and then that's it. Now, not to mention that they have like fire in space, and this chick's a twin. Have we seen Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan? Like, at least Lindsay Lohan like changed her voice and her hairstyle, right?
Yeah.
This chick, the same braids, looks the same. Like she got her clean Jedi clothes at the same clean Jedi place. It just is terrible. $180 million. Hold
up. I got Craig. Craig from Patton said this. To be fair, he says, she was deflecting one of the daggers centered on the bartender.
Yeah, she can't multitask. Rey can hold a fucking Star Destroyer in the sky and keep it from flying away like that. But this Jedi Master can't like ping, like do two things at once. She can't multitask. Aren't there Jedi Masters with ADHD?
I seem to recall in the original trilogy, Luke Skywalker raised the X-Wing while standing on his head.
You're absolutely right.
He was the king of ADHD, like blind and doing shit. Like, you don't have to see where it's coming from. What do you think Luke was doing? Like, the person who wrote this, her name's Leslie Headland, and she's terrible.
She's bad.
Who was she the secretary for?
Harvey Weinstein.
Okay.
I mean, I would love to get a job with a person like that and be higher up and be making millions. I don't know how that works. Just my opinion.
You know how she did it? She kept her mouth shut, and Harvey's like, "Here, let me show you some of my contacts."
Well, so Craig says, hang on. Yoda raised the X-Wing out of the swamp in the original series. Luke couldn't do it.
Okay. Okay, but he was still doing the blast. He was still doing the lightsaber training and stuff, right?
At the beginning of his training,
and he was lifting rocks and
at the beginning, like when he was like, "This is a Jedi Master who's been." It's like someone who's wrestled. Like it would be Ric Flair versus somebody just literally just got
out of training school
like a week ago,
right?
Yeah. Like, hey,
and
Craig, I filled out my form.
And Craig helped me out here, but didn't Luke at age like 20 start the new Jedi Order? Didn't he reopen the temple?
Right.
Wasn't he like
20? There you go, Craig.
Wasn't he 20 at that point?
Well, Burns got a couple stuff, and it's not based on the ethnicity of her killing the Jedi Master.
Okay.
That I'm upset, Burns. I'm only upset that they took a major star and put him in there like a Game of Thrones kind of thing, and then they killed her off like in 4 minutes.
Right away, sure.
Yeah. And I thought she was going to be a bigger part of the series because I had no clue what the series was about.
Well, they did that. Yeah. They did that with Channing Tatum in the second G.I. Joe movie. That was
awesome. They killed him like that.
Yeah, Duke, one of the most famous G.I. Joes in the cartoons, was dead 15 minutes into the movie.
And then that movie never recovered, and that was the franchise helper, The Rock. Even with Bruce Willis, couldn't even help it.
No, it was dead in the water.
Yeah. So it's got a high critic thing on that Rotten Tomatoes, which I don't know who.
94 on Rotten Tomatoes,
but fan opinion, it was at like
20%,
and now it's up to probably. Now? Well, now it's up to like 38 to 40, and then Craig says. Yes, he did. And look what happened. Kylo Ren. But I do understand where you guys are coming from.
Well, what about Craig? What about the fire in outer space? When did they start sending live people into outer space and doing spacewalks? What happened to droids doing that? I mean, it's just the dumbest. It's dumb after dumb. It's just so dumb. Like, if you're getting accused of something, Bubba, Chris, if they're like, hey, Chris, you committed murder.
Wrong movie, Burn.
That's when you bring up,
but
hey,
he does have a point.
Though.
He does have a point. Like Carl Weathers is dead 20 minutes into that movie. Like, what the heck?
Yeah. Well, that was the great revenge match. You know, Drago was. Yeah,
I suppose he dies to the main bad guy and not just some stray bullet from
Well, Mac from Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Right. Like Mighty Mac from Mike, who's half hollow. You can't see him.
So it's got nothing to do. I don't care if the characters are pink, blue, red, or green. I don't care. And I didn't know that one of the Jedis was the girl who played in Logan. His kid.
Oh, the one that played X-23.
Yes. And she is not big at all. Like, she's older now, but she is not tall at all. She's very tiny.
Okay.
And they got her costumed up with makeup and stuff. Yeah. And then before you guys come on, I was watching something where the one Jedi, they were doing interviews with all the actors. And this is what he said. He's like, well, Darth Vader was, he was bad in the Star Wars. But when Anakin Skywalker killed all those people on the Death Star, that was way worse. Exactly. Your facial expressions right there, Chris, say it all. Like, he's a big fan of Star Wars, and he doesn't even know it was Luke, not Anakin, the dumbass.
These guys could F up a wet
They don't care. And I look, I'm not getting into, because it's just whatever. People are like taking pitchforks and getting crazy. I'm not getting crazy. I'm just doing this for content for podcasting stuff because I watched it. But I always felt that CP3O and R2D2 was Art Carney and Jackie Gleason, in my opinion. That's what I always thought, that they were two, buddies that hate each other and crack jokes, and that's what it was. Yeah. Not that they were, sexual, whatever. They
robot lovers.
About. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. Yes, he was tiny. He was tiny, Burns. But I'm going to watch it. I'll finish watching it. I'll keep talking about it, but now let me ask you guys. Well, Chris, you're not going to watch it, are you?
No.
Okay. You're going to finish watching it, Shane?
Yeah, it's like a train wreck.
Okay. Now,
I want to see how stupid it gets.
Well, they have a Wookiee that has like a like a hairdo thing on the second.
It looked like Harry and the Hendersons at the end of that.
Yeah.
Last scene. I'm like,
yeah, I don't know.
I like the other thing, Chris. George Lucas did not want Wookiees having force powers because they're already so powerful. He said no to that. But here we are.
I didn't realize he wanted the 86.
Years ago, they mentioned it. He's no.
Yeah, I didn't know if he wanted them not to be force sensitive or anything like that.
No Wookiees. They're too powerful. But anyways,
well, before we move from one topic to the next here, Craig, on this last note, that's also referenced in the Acolyte that I might mispronounce this, which I usually do, and it's not Japanese. Nema Dane said normally astromech droids do repairs.
Yeah, they say that. They reference it, but I mean, you shouldn't have to reference something a million times. And here's the thing. This is based off of These are based off of monks from the 9th century. Like, the Jedi are based off of monks that, like, there were 20 of them that held off an army of like 3,000 years and years ago. So that's what George Lucas based this off of. And to have a monk commit suicide is another faux pas.
And Shogun warriors.
Shogun warriors.
I believe.
So kind of like he took all those elements of,
I don't know what tickets. It must be your.
Oh, I can still. I would need that money pretty quick in order to get you a ticket. But I can probably get you 2 tickets.
Hi, Larry. So okay, we'll skip, but we'll go over. And I don't know if you guys ever saw this TV show, because that's the only reason I'm bringing this up is because I watched it. Was Doc Strange was in this show on Netflix, okay, where he was a puppeteer during the 80s, and he was abusive, and his kid just takes off, and they have to search a city for his kid. And his dad's like a powerful realtor developer, and it's during the 80s, and the cop that's investigating these kids that are missing it's during the AIDS epidemic. So it's like 6 episodes. And it's like Sesame Street on crack. Like he's seriously drinking and drunk, doing lines of coke, and because he can't find his kid, and it was okay, but it wasn't the best. But it's good to see Doc Strange getting all hammered and dancing around. But
I saw the first 15 minutes and I was like, this is too out of it for me. I can't do it. I just didn't have the bandwidth at that point.
Yeah, well, and the only reason I brought it up is because I watched it. But realistically, the only show that I watched Netflix that I actually like was Tires. So,
oh my God, Chris, have you seen it?
I'm sorry, no.
Tires, you got to watch. It's on Netflix. It's so freaking funny.
Okay.
Oh, hey, Donnie, Mr. Tapout's in the thing. Yeah, so it was a 6-part episode on Netflix. I tried to watch The Boy Who Kills the World or something.
I couldn't watch that.
The guy who played it, and he does martial arts, but he doesn't talk the whole way through the movie. But I do want to see, before I change another topic, I saw the Dave Bautista new trailer on He's a Hitman. Anybody seen that one?
No, what's that called?
Where he ends up having like brain cancer or something?
Yeah. And he just goes and I think he puts a contract in out on himself, and everybody's trying to kill him because I think he wants his last hurrah. And then it was like the Indiana hospital just fucked up and said, "Oh, we got the wrong person."
Yeah, it was the wrong brain scan.
What's the name of that movie?
I forget. I just saw it on the trailer.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's something. It's like a guy who made John Wick.
Oh man, I got to see that. I got to figure out what's it called.
No, it wasn't Philadelphia with Tom Hanks. Burns. It was not. But Craig says, "Boy, a new season of Doctor Who is good. I have never ever."
I've never watched.
I've never seen a Doctor Who episode in my entire life. Chris, have you seen a Doctor? Have you?
I have seen several. Yes. I actually.
Oh my!
I actually did. My ex-wife and I, we would watch Doctor Who. I preferred Christopher Eccleston, who played Malekith the Accursed in Thor: The Dark World.
Okay.
He was the Doctor I preferred. Peter Capaldi, one of the more recent Doctors, was also very good. I actually, there were episodes of Doctor Who I quite enjoyed.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, you got me beat on that one. So do you watch it now?
I haven't gotten to see any of the most recent Doctor.
Okay, so since you watched it,
okay,
and you might have to explain to me and explain to the masses
I will do my best.
What is the premise of Doctor Who? Because I'm in the pulp culture, but and Craig says it's nice to good on you, and he's proud of you to watch Doctor Who. But
thank you.
Yeah, for a person like me who's never ever watched it, and I always think that the telephone booth was like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, so I'm already fucked up. So please explain to me.
So in Doctor Who, you're dealing with a race of time travelers. All of the Gallifreyans. Gallifrey is the planet they come from.
Okay.
All of them have some ability. They've mastered time travel.
Okay.
So their time machines are called the TARDIS. It's the phone box.
Okay, gotcha.
It can change into various things, but his malfunctions and is always the blue police box, the blue British emergency phone booth.
Okay, that's okay.
His malfunctions, and he's not able to kind of repair it adequately. He can just keep it kind of going, but he's never really able to fix it because now of course I'm probably going to get slammed.
I can't slam because I've never seen an episode.
The way I recall it being explained to me was that he had to take one and leave the planet, so he took one that wasn't in good repair, like
Quantum Leap,
sort of like Quantum Leap. But what the Doctor does is he goes around the various universes and all through time and helps people, various races. He always has he usually has a person with him that is called the companion. It's usually a human. There's been several really compelling companions over the course of the doctor's time, but their race, when they take a mortal wound or have exhausted their life, regenerate. And when they regenerate, they take on another physical body.
So that's how they get the new actors to play.
That's
Doctor
how they
Who.
get the new doctor. The new doctor. Every time a doctor receives a mortal wound or otherwise has to expend life force, he changes. And most recently, a few years ago, the doctor, for the first time ever, regenerated into a female form.
And how have you seen any of that show?
I have seen Jodie. I can't remember the actress.
They're all British. Name. Every single one of them are all British actors.
Wouldn't they have called it Doctor What? Like Doctor What the fuck happened to my dick?
No. But there are some funny, and there's been some really great actors who have played Doctor Who.
So who would be the most famous Doctor Who if we did a poll right now? Because I know what you just said.
Most people that there are two doctors that are going to be most popular. David Tennant,
okay,
who played the Purple Man in Jessica Jones.
I was just going to say that did a great role,
and was in Good Omens and many great things.
Okay,
and Matt Smith. Matt Smith.
Okay, because
our two of he played in one of the more recent Terminator films, I think.
Matt Smith. I never heard of him. Now Craig says it's Jodie Whittaker.
Yes, Whittaker.
And,
thank you.
Hi, Steve. And Craig says Tom Baker.
Tom Baker is the like famous classic doctor.
Is he the first one?
No, he's not the first one. In chronological order. Right, okay. Not in chronological order. He's like, I'm probably going to get my head kicked in for this. I believe Tom Baker was the 8th or 9th doctor.
Holy hell. How many doctors do they have?
I think they're on number 14 now.
See, I know it's on Disney, but I have never ever seen it.
This show has been happening since I believe the 60s.
Since before I was alive.
Yeah.
It's been around. Yeah. Okay. I've never watched.
But Tom Baker's character wore the hat and the scarf, the long, multicolored scarf, and that's like a lot of the Doctor Who fans love that multicolored scarf.
What about Cumberbatch? Wasn't he a
Benedict Cumberbatch was not he was Sherlock Holmes. He was not.
Oh shit! I got the wrong goddamn show.
He was not Doctor Who. He was Sherlock Holmes.
Well, see, that's why you know.
But Christopher Eccleston was the first Doctor that I ever saw. The first episodes of Doctor Who I ever saw were Christopher Eccleston.
Well, Craig says the first episode came out when Kennedy was assassinated. Holy shit. And Steve said that was the 4th Doctor. I believe Tom Baker was the 4th Doctor, and Jason Reese from Pro Wrestling Extreme Podcast jumped on. Now, Burns, you're talking about that time travel show on NBC, and I know what he's talking about, and the guy got killed.
Back to the Future?
No, not Back to the Future. This guy was going to be a big action hero. And I know where Burns is going with this. He went and he time traveled with this young kid. And his actor name was Johnny Hexton. And I'm gonna have to Google it. But he died. He seriously, I think he took a shot. He got shot or something on set, I believe, and died. It might have been the Time Voyagers or something.
You weren't talking about Time Tracks, are you?
No, Time Tracks is with William Shatner, right? Well,
no.
We just got this. Now we're talking crazy stuff.
Now we're talking time travel, crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. I'm bringing up what Jim Cornette would call the Google machine here.
Is that what we're doing? Oh, you mean the? Well,
yeah, I'm trying to figure this out.
I am too. This guy, he was he looked good. I mean, he was a blonde dude, real built. That's not. Nope, I'm not getting it. I'm getting fucking Napoleon Dynamite. That's not the right one. I'm gonna do time travel show. Burns, you're absolutely right. I know where you're going. It's not Quantum Leap.
Voyagers.
That's what I said. Voyagers.
Time Tracks was in the 90s. I was a little bit further ahead chronologically than Burns. I never saw Voyagers, but
Oh, I did. It was a young kid.
Apparently it's on Prime Video or Apple TV. So if you want to go back and watch that. Apparently from what Google is just saying to me here.
Well, I don't have app. I mean, I'll have to look. You know what? I got my cable system. I can wait, hold on. It's Wikipedia.
Yeah.
American science fiction TV show about time travel, Burns, that aired 1982 to 1983. The series starred John Eric Xmen and Minio Pullentz. And and I have to get, because I think he died.
You know what's coming out that's really good, boys?
What's that?
There's one season already out. It was on Apple. It's called The Silo.
He was Phineas Bogg. That was his name. That's his
Have you ever heard of it?
I have not.
Chris?
No.
Bubba?
No. Wait, what would you say?
It's fantastic. The
What'd
Silo.
you say? No.
It's called The Silo.
No. Here's how he died. I'm sorry. Go ahead. This is how he died. He died on set on this show called Cover Up on a self-inflicted blank cartilage gunshot to the head. And the cover up was like a model crime. You know what I mean? But he was like a model. I mean, he was 26 when he fucking died. So he probably would have made a bigger career. Yeah. I mean, he was a good looking dude. But yeah, that was I watched that when I was a kid. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just going to tell you about The Silo. I mean, I just put it on and it was just, I mean, it just draws you in. It's so good. So basically
Never seen that.
The premise is it's post-apocalyptic. These people live in a silo.
Okay.
And it's kind of a psychological thing where you're trying to realize if the outside world is viable or if they just are lying inside. And it's really good. So
never seen it.
It's something to watch. You're bored.
There's so much to watch anymore because I have all these streaming services. I mean, my God.
This is probably one of the better things, I would say. It's worth your time. If it's not horror, it's more sci-fi.
Well, the only stuff that I love in horror is The Walking Dead. And speaking of that, like I found out that because I do get these lovely things here. Where the hell's it at? Daryl Dixon, 9/29/24. Carol's coming to save him. And if anybody saw that, I don't know how he got to France, but he did, and it was actually a pretty good show. I mean, I know how he got there. It shows that, but if you ever watch that, it's actually pretty good. Like the spinoffs now are actually pretty good stuff, except for the one in the city. You haven't seen any of that?
No, I tried to get into The Walking Dead. I really did, but I couldn't.
That's the only thing that I watch that's actually horror type. I'm not into horror flicks.
A friend of mine, he was binge watching through the series, and I must have just caught, like, when I was hanging out with him, the 3 most boring episodes of every season.
And he said hell with it.
I was like, no, I can't handle this. Like, this is too much.
I must have been like season 8.
I don't know. It was,
I tapped out for like 2 years. I'm like, can't do it.
Well, I mean, it was. I mean, there's so much like to watch. There's not enough time to watch, and I can't, like, I want to watch the Mayor of Kingstown's back, and I'm gonna get a couple episodes and see how that is.
Well, what about Tulsa? That's a great show that's coming out for season 2.
But it ain't out yet. It's gonna be a while. He's being a prick and firing people, man. He's moving out of California. He's moving down. I don't know where he's moving to, but Steve Jordan said The Walking Dead is good. He says, "It's okay."
And for the folks that like it, I'm not knocking it. I just couldn't get into it. It didn't hold my interest. Is all.
I think when they had Negan take the baseball bat and kill fucking Glenn, that's when it fucking when they got that bad. I mean, when it was graphic.
About a year after that, I tapped out.
I mean, I think people are like, this is crazy, and they thought that scene and that thing would be so over the top and get more views. I think it did the opposite. I think.
Yeah, I think it was a story about hope and like something has to happen good, and that just crushed everybody. And they're just like,
well,
no, this is not what I signed up
I'm not
for.
into that stuff, but I do like the Rick Grimes and Michonne TV show. I tell you what, that was probably the best shit in a long time. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, Steve says, Chris, you're fine. You don't have to explain yourself. Craig says, Chris, the next time you do your finisher on your next opponent, you should scream out, exterminate. And John Barr, thanks for tuning in.
That was another Doctor Who reference. The
exterminate.
Exterminate is something the Daleks, the killer robots that are one of the main enemies of the Doctor, always say. It's exterminate, and they go around blasting everybody.
So if it's me never watching it at all, where would you tell a person like me where to go to start watching this?
So, I mean, if you want to start,
I don't know if I do, but I mean, I'm just
right. I feel like you're going to do yourself a disservice if you don't watch any of the Tom Baker stuff.
So should I go back to like when it first started?
One of like they were like, I've been corrected here. Tom Baker was Doctor number 4. My favorite Doctor, Jared Devil, to answer that question quickly, is Christopher Eccleston. If you don't count Jonathan Hurt, the War Doctor, it's Eccleston. If you count the War Doctor,
what's the War Doctor? What is that?
So there's a little fragment in the series. Yes, David Tennant is fantastic, but there's a little segment in the series where the Doctor has to make a decision, and he essentially, to win the time war against the Daleks, destroys their home planet of Gallifrey.
Oh my God. Well, Steve says the Daleks are like the Terminators.
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
Except they're shaped like giant versions of R2, where they're just like kind of round, like they were probably like a giant garbage can or something that they decorated back in the 60s.
Oh yeah, because special effects were terrible.
Big giant robot, like, you know, with a guy probably like walking around inside it. Yes. Eccleston was my favorite Doctor. His interactions with Rose, and then Rose, the companion, then carrying on into the David Tennant years.
Well, yeah, I'm getting schooled. I'm getting schooled, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting schooled tonight by the world beater on Doctor Who, because I've never seen it, and Doctor Who is a huge science fiction thing in lore and pop culture.
Yes, it is. Yes.
So I have to to.
Yeah. So Christopher Eccleston for me, other than the War Doctor.
That's a good gimmick right there. The War Doctor.
That kind of story arc was something I enjoyed. It was very brief, but if you're going to start watching Doctor Who, at least watch some of the Tom Baker stuff. And then I started at Christopher Eccleston, but you could probably easily, safely start with David Tennant. Go David Tennant into the Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi.
So if I go anywhere, the people that you're saying, I'm not going to lose any sight of the stuff that happened before these people.
No, because they like to call back to that stuff because he is kind of in effect immortal. They call back to his previous lives. They make mention of it numerous times throughout the story. You know that this is a person that has lived for centuries and centuries and centuries.
Shane, have you ever watched Doctor Who?
No, I'm reading the list of actors who played. So David Tennant was Doctor Who twice.
2 series, because of the way the British
do their
series
stuff.
Works.
2005 to 2010, and then he was from 2022 until 2023. So like a year and a month.
He came back in for the time of the Doctor. It was a short story.
The time of the Doctor.
where it was at one point you had the Van Gogh episode, which is a tearjerker of an episode if you watch it. Very good episode.
Schooled. The world beaters schooled me tonight on the Doctor Who stuff. Like I would not. I mean, and you thought you weren't bringing anything to the table tonight. You're like, oh, Bob, I'm coming on, and we didn't even get to the X-Men.
but yeah, start David Tennant, all that stuff. Goes right into Matt Smith. The River Song story arc is really good.
I'm getting a lot of people commenting here about your Doctor Who stuff. Like Craig says you can watch the original and see it for free on Tubi. Well, thank you, Craig. I did not know that. Steve Jordan says they sort of look like the robots from the TV show Lost in Space.
Yes, very similar. Yes.
Okay. Only have a toilet plunger on it. Waylon, thanks for tuning in. Craig says David Tennant actually came back as the 14th Doctor, regenerating back to his old face from Jodie.
Okay, I'm not really up to speed, so I didn't realize.
Yeah, I don't have any speed.
That Tennant came back and was between Whittaker.
Wow, I didn't know
and
Doctor Who was so goddamn fucking. Doctor Who's been. We've been talking about Doctor Who for 25 minutes. And I have no fucking idea. And everybody was like chiming in and people watch it and stuff. Like, wow.
It's huge in England and even here in the States. You know, it's huge. If you go this weekend to Sci-Fi Valley Con in Altoona, I promise you there's going to be Doctor Who stuff there.
Are you going?
Do you think it's more popular than Harry Potter? I think it would be because it goes back so far.
Probably it has a broader appeal because it has been going for so many years. So the audience is much bigger.
Yeah. Steve says, welcome to Nerd Night.
Daredevil, yes. Jodie, I saw a couple of her episodes. The writing was not great. That was kind of that was kind of like, I think, immediately post-pandemic.
But Shane, like Harry Potter was written way before Doctor Who.
No.
Harry Potter sucks.
No, Doctor Who's been going
Doctor
on.
Who has been written like the screenplay.
I think she wrote Harry Potter in the 90s.
Oh, really? See, I would have never known that. I thought it was
Doctor Who started. Like I said, the original television series was. You're talking, like they said, the Kennedy.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking fucking Lord of the Rings. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, and
Lord of the Rings goes back to the 30s.
Lord of the Rings goes back to the 30s.
Yeah.
Because that was
okay. Now Steve says, don't forget about the sonic screwdriver. What the hell's that?
The sonic screwdriver is the the catch-all tool of the Doctor. He uses it as a scanner and as a lockpick, and anything,
MacGyver.
Sort of, yeah. It's a catch-all. It's a catch-all tool. Is the sonic screwdriver?
Okay.
So it's like the missionary position of sci-fi tools.
I suppose so. It's like the plot device. If I need something that I normally wouldn't be able to do, well, I have this. And it's like plot armor. I can't be killed. I have plot armor. This sonic screwdriver.
Well, Craig says the Doctor is a fan. The Doctor is a fan of Harry Potter. He mentioned it in the show, and David Tennant was actually in Harry Potter as Barty Couch Jr. And Steve says Doctor Who was way out before Harry Potter.
Yes, and you were thinking Lord of the Rings.
I was
97 is when Harry Potter's book came out.
Which was Tolkien, who was also very good friends with C.S. Lewis, who wrote The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
That was very good. I liked that cartoon when I was a kid.
A Horse and His Boy, and that book series. C.S. Lewis and J.R.
I'm getting schooled tonight. Damn, C.S.
Lewis and Tolkien were friends.
Wow. See, you can kick people's ass and know about literature and British shows more than anybody. See, that's how it works.
Crazy.
Wow. It's crazy. Yeah. Well, that they talked about.
Oh yeah, the River Song story arc.
I have no idea. Oh yeah,
and the actress that plays River Song is a very attractive lady.
Well, that's good. That's always good.
Never hurts.
No, and never. Eye candy's always good. And Steve says I kept my sonic screwdriver with my Star Wars biker scout armor. He must do cosplay. Steve does. Does cosplay. So
that's awesome.
Wow. I got schooled, ladies and gentlemen, 101 by the world beater on Doctor Who. And Craig says, I have this whole new respect for you, Chris. Now I can't boo you anymore, he says. Well, you shouldn't have booed him in the first place, Craig, because when you're a world beater, you just beat people up. It's age, creed, national origin. It doesn't matter, you know?
everyone is entitled to
Their opinion.
enjoy the wrestling as they would wish to do so. If they
Now,
wanna
is
boo
this
me, that's fine.
a female? Is this a female?
Alex Kingston,
I don't know.
she's the actress that plays the
Eye candy.
the River Song. Yes.
Okay. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Devil. I have no idea. I got no idea.
Yeah,
I got nothing.
Alex Kingston. She is the actress that plays River Song.
Wow. Okay.
The essentially love interest of the Doctor.
Gotcha.
It's a story arc that goes across several doctors.
Oh, she was
It's
on
not
ER as Alex Kingston. That's what Craig says. Craig knows his stuff.
Yeah.
I have no. Yeah. And Steve says first time know who Chris is, and I'm also. Oh,
I don't know who that is.
Well, worker in wrestling shows. We're all good. He says he's a worker, fellow worker too. Hey, all good, all good. So, Chris, now we're going to jump on another subject because you said you know a little bit about it and you watched it. Was the X-Men '97? What did you think of X-Men '97?
Wow, that series was excellent.
Okay,
they did it. They did a great job of Jared Devil there. So they did a great job of bringing that next level of the storylines along. And there's so many callbacks to the original series.
Did you watch the original series when you were growing up?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's also available on Disney Plus if you want to.
Yes.
If anybody wants to go back and watch that, which I have, many times over the years. But there's lots of callbacks to the old series. Spoilers, everybody. I'll try to keep them as few as possible, but
I think you're good.
There be spoilers ahead. So it's great to see kind of all the characters' powers kind of evolving. They show Storm using more of her power level. They show Morph doing more. They introduce some of the new characters like Sunspot.
Which is surprising.
Yes, yeah. But then you can also kind of see them bringing various comic storylines together. They do some callbacks to X-Men Alpha, the futuristic X-Men series, where you show Magneto and Rogue as a on again, off again thing.
Yeah.
And it isn't explained in the series how it works, but it's explained in the comics how Magneto and Rogue can make that work. And they do various things, and it certainly looks like they're gearing towards starting the Onslaught story arc.
I thought so, but it'll be a while because that last episode they're all in displaced times.
Right, they're displaced in time, and most of them run into Apocalypse before he becomes Apocalypse.
Yes.
But it certainly looks like they're starting that Onslaught story arc with Magneto pulling the metal out of Wolverine.
Oh, that was great. That was
it looked very much like the page
yes.
straight from the comic book.
Yes, and that was issue 25 of the Jim Lee X-Men. I have that, and that was the cover of the book.
But that whole sequence, you can Wolverine stabs him and tells him, the brave always die first. That was a callback to the original series when the X-Men were flying off to fight the Sentinels, presumably going to their death. Magneto said that to them, that the brave always die first. So they literally pulled that line, brought it 20, plus years into the future and used it in this series. So there's a lot of great little Easter eggs and callbacks and things like that.
What did you think about the Gambit situation?
That I didn't think they were gonna go that hard,
and they went that hard,
and they went hard. For the team to lose, one of the favorites of
everybody. I don't know anybody does. I don't know anybody that does not like him.
People.
Yeah.
I mean, he was one of everybody's favorite characters in the original series.
Yeah.
And then he makes it 5 episodes into the second series before he's killed, and how he goes out is just
emotionally brutal, and even in an animated,
emotionally brutal for what amounts to a kid's show, right?
I don't think it's a kid. I don't think it's a kid
It's
show.
a show for
I mean,
for
it's
kids from 1997.
Right. It's but the throwback to that, the line he says there is a throwback to Night of the Sentinels from the original series. The name's Gambit. Remember it.
Mm-hmm.
You know how I like how they each episode a different character is introducing the episode. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I like they brought Nightcrawler back in. I love Nightcrawler.
I love the sequence with Wolverine where he's got the swords and it's swashbuckler Nightcrawler like he was in the comic books, and he's
well now in the comic book, now in the comic book he's a night Spidey Knight, or he has the power of Spider-Man in one of the limited series, because Marvel does this crazy stuff now. They just do these miniseries and they try to get these artists, like they're rebooting X-Men again.
Oh wow.
And it's going to be X-Men. I don't know what is on the team. I also like Colossus.
Colossus is my favorite. Colossus is my favorite X-Men. I'm just
out of everybody.
Out of everybody, Colossus is my favorite.
See, mine's
you
always
like
Wolverine.
You like Sunspot, but my favorite one is Liver Spot. He doesn't get any love.
Well, Sunspot was part of the X-Force. Actually, Sunspot was actually an Avenger on Uncanny, and he actually was part of the U.S. Jesus Christ! It was a 10-part series. He was the leader of the U.S. agents or something. Not the U.S. agent, because U.S. agent was Johnny Walker, but
right.
Well, yeah, I'm a huge Alpha Flight fan. I'm huge Alpha Flight. I have I'm missing the second I'm missing the first appearance in comic books of Alpha Flight, but other than that, I have every single one. And I don't know if they need to do a movie or something like that. I don't know if they will. Maybe a Disney thing with Alpha Flight.
Yeah, that'd be great to see. Vindicator
Puck.
and
I'd be
Puck.
like Puck. Yeah,
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
We'll be right here talking X-Men.
To see Vindicator and Puck and Snowbird and Sasquatch.
Yes.
And all, the entire team would be really cool.
Well,
I actually had one of the original Alpha Flight books, where the first time they go out as a team, and it's
Well, John Byrne was. I mean, he drew it. I mean, he's a great artist.
Yeah.
But I mean, like these action figures, like these X-Men 97 action figures, are going up on eBay. If you ever see them on eBay, they're like pricey price. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I didn't think so. Like I thought I think $24 is steep, but they got like Gambit figures going for like $40, $50.
Oh wow.
I picked up a Nightcrawler because Cable got me into the collecting Marvel Legends again.
Yeah.
So I got Nightcrawler for $24, but the older Nightcrawler was like $60, $80, $100. I'm like, holy shit.
Speaking of our dear friend Cable and his namesake Cable, his story arc in X-Men 97 is really kind of some compelling stuff as well. Him kind of trying to figure out how to interact with his parents that he never knew,
and coming back and trying to change it and
trying to save his mother and stuff like that. That's all really.
Yeah, Steve said Gambit for $90 figure, but
Wow.
he's going to come back. Yeah, he's coming back. He's going to be the angel. He's going to be one of the four. He's going to be one of the Apocalypse.
The
one of
four horsemen.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, instead of Wolverine, it'll be Gambit.
Yeah. I mean, there were several of the X-Men over the years have been,
Archangel.
Archangel, obviously.
I think Archangel was the first, and I don't have that issue.
He was one of my favorite X-Men too. But like I said, Colossus has always been my favorite.
Well,
X-Men.
I also like there's a few of them I like Beast, but see, the Dark Beast recently Beast turned evil in the comic book in Wolverine, and I have not read that. I'm not current. I collect them
in the X-Men Alpha series. Beast is also evil. He does genetic research.
It's the same character.
He's working with Mr. Sinister at the time.
Yeah, it's the same character. Later on, now recently, he was going again. I don't know if Wolverine killed him. I don't know what happened because I haven't read it, so I can't comment. But and they want to bring back the blue lovable Beast. That's the Avenger one that I like. I mean, because him and Wonder Man tagged up. But yeah, I mean, I wish they'd had a little bit more episodes than what they had.
Yeah. They're obviously going to go with season 2, and like I said, I think they're kind of teasing definitely the Onslaught story arc, which was a great,
I thought it was coming. I thought it was coming at the end,
which was a really compelling story arc for the X-Men, but it also led to one of the most disastrous story arcs for Marvel Comics completely, which was, of course, Heroes Reborn.
Terrible.
It was pretty terrible.
How long will it take them to produce a new series, a new season on this series?
No, it's easier to do that than do movies.
Right. I'm thinking it's quick.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably in production of it now.
Mm-hmm. Because it was hugely successful.
Yeah. The Storm Forge story arc was really, really good. I liked how they had Storm with the 80s.
Oh yeah, with Forge,
the Mohawk. She
lost her powers. Yeah.
Storm had the 80s Mohawk, and then they did all the throwback uniforms at the end, where Jean was dressed like Marvel Girl, and Wolverine had his like burgundy and yellow, and Storm was in the classic black suit.
Mm-hmm.
That all those kind of little throwbacks. I really enjoy.
Well, I just think, like I said, they're rebooting the comic book. They're redoing X-Force. They're redoing, I think, X Factor. They're redoing all those books again.
Okay.
So, and I used to get, X Factor because I used to like the Multiple Man. I used to like Havoc.
I like Havoc.
You'll eventually have to see him.
Yeah.
I mean,
all the cameos you saw in X-Men 97.
My God.
Like you saw Polaris, you saw, all these other great characters. And like I said, I like how Morph was changing into different characters.
Changed into the Hulk.
He changed into the Hulk very briefly. It was all really good stuff.
And they incorporated a lot of the 90s cartoons in the storylines in the arcs, like Wakanda. And then they had a little bit of Parker and Mary Jane looking at the, window, looking at the TV, Captain America. And
they tied it together. Stark. They tied it together where they can go into multiple story arcs that the X-Men crossed over in throughout.
Harmony PA. And then the guy had like a P on his varsity jacket, like he was a Pirates fan or something. That's kind of funny. Remember that? No, seriously. Those Sentinel mutants, half the guys were half Sentinel, half people. That kind of
that was Bastion. That was Bastion.
Yeah,
Bastion. It was Prime.
And Beast is like, he's in Harmony, PA, which is like up the road for me.
No, it's not. And he goes,
it's 40 miles north of Pittsburgh. I'm like,
when they said that because he was based in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, north of Pittsburgh.
The character was born in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. So,
yeah, he was probably from Sonoma.
I'm
gonna probably rewatch it again.
Yeah. It was really good.
Yeah. It's just I don't know. I'm waiting for some more stuff. I don't know. I mean, Marvel is still a little bit. They're slowing down now instead of putting out a whole bunch of stuff. That stuff is not good. So I think the
Disney machine, they kind of want to focus on one thing at a time. So they just finished X-Men 97. Okay, now we'll push the Star Wars stuff with Acolyte. We'll push that for a little bit. When that starts to slow down, now we'll push out the newest thing over here, and it's just
too much. Too much of Disney pushing one franchise and another franchise at the same time is not smart, I don't think. But what am I? I mean, I don't know. Because right from the Accolade, well, I mean, the Accolade had Shane almost 5 million people watched it. I mean, there's nothing you can, whether we bitch about it or like it or whatever. It just
shows you the fans are still starving for Star Wars content.
Yeah,
no matter how bad.
Right.
It's like that Eddie Murphy skit. This is the best goddamn saltine cracker I've ever had. From Raw.
That was a good skit. But I mean, I want to see where the Jedi Master, the Asian Jedi Master, who actually, I read this,
he's good,
learned English in 4 months for this part.
Wow.
Yeah. So he took his craft very, very well. And the only thing I like from Japanese is Godzilla, but that's, a good kung fu movie.
It seems like Leslie Headland learned how to write a script in 4 months.
Yeah, well, I think she just there's something wrong with her. Well, and speaking of that, well, I have not seen that movie. I have not seen that. I got 5 minutes in, but I did see the trailer for Venom. And before we get out of here, did either one of you guys watch the trailer for Venom? And what did you think about
it? I mean,
you got something to say.
I saw the trailer. I'm not completely thrilled with what they've done with the Venom character.
Okay, I'm not either.
Across his movies, I think they could have done better with that. They kind of made it a little too silly.
I agree.
I'll ask you guys.
I would have liked to take it more seriously.
Is this a Sony one? Is this going to be another Sony Venom?
Yeah,
that is going to be terrible.
Yes. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen them take the character more seriously than they did. In the first two movies, even. It was he could have been, Spider-Man's big villain across. He could have been given his own movie against Spider-Man. You could have gone into, all the things. You could have spun it. You could have spun it. You could have spun it off of the Secret Wars, but you didn't. You could have done a lot of
why
things
don't they do
that you didn't.
a better backstory and then tie it in and make him a villain in.
Well, they have the backstory in the comic book is a great story. The Secret Wars, like Chris is talking about, where he's down and out and he needs a costume and he fucking gets it. He comes back and it's parasiting. It's killing him from the inside. He doesn't know it. And he goes to the church and fucking the bells ring.
In the bell tower.
And
that's actually one of my favorite what if comics is what if Peter Parker could not remove the symbiote costume.
It'd have killed him. It killed him.
It killed him. It took over the Hulk. It took over Thor.
Yep.
That's one of my favorite what if comics where they have to bring Black Bolt down from the moon to subdue the symbiote suit.
See, I just think the
they could have taken it more seriously.
Right. Well, they didn't take it seriously with Carnage with Woody Harrelson, and that was a great role for him. And Carnage could have been more rated R, more serial, more vicious, and it wasn't. Yes. And I don't know how this is going to be. I don't know if they're going to have Null come in. I have no idea. I mean, and then in the comic book, Eddie's son Dylan is now Venom. So I mean, it's fucked up. So, and I did collect it, and I have the first appearance. I'm looking at it on the wall, the original.
I mean,
I'll go see it. I will go see it though.
Yeah, I had several issues of Venom Lethal Protector.
I have that whole series. Yes. Yeah.
I'm. Yes, Lou Ferrigno's Hulk absolutely will always be the best Hulk.
I love it when he was hitting on Tammy at Steel City Con after he was eating a banana. I always thought that was funny. So, oh my God, yeah. Well, wow, man. Wow. It was a total, it was a nerdy kind of show, but hey, it is what it is. I enjoyed it, man. Wow, Chris, you know your stuff. You can beat people up and you still know your pulp culture lore. And I'm gonna have to check out Doctor Who for real. I'm gonna check it out. I mean, I also said I was gonna check out Japanese animated comic books, and I still have a Deadpool one wrapped in fucking plastic over here. I've never touched.
Speaking of Japanese stuff, Godzilla -1 now on Netflix. So if you haven't seen it,
I just watched it on Netflix. I loved it.
Very, very good. Very good. Yeah, he's still big. Yeah, I was watching -1. The Japanese was talking, and it was dubbed in Japanese at the same time. So when his tail was fucking everybody up,
you still had no idea what was going on.
No, as long as Godzilla was, I mean, they were out and when he jumped in that little plane and he was scared shitless and he was like, I mean, they were, and it was all Japanese and I had no fucking clue. And I watched it for like a half hour and I was like, well, I'm good, but I'm not that good. And I already seen it at the movie theater, so I already know the premise.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I will watch it again, and it's good on a big screen. You cannot watch this Godzilla movie on a small screen TV. I don't care. You can't do it. So, but yeah, that was good stuff. So, hey, before I get out of here, I want to give a shouts out real quick. Jared Berry's going to be out at the Betty Lou's tomorrow. He just came back from Nashville, so I try to plug everybody. I swear to God, man, I just try to plug, and I am very impressed. And I know he's never jumped on this show, and one of these days I like to get him on the show here. And is Mr. Vince Valor, his academy. Anybody that's listening who wants to try out to become a professional wrestler, Buffalo Wrestling Academy, open tryouts. He will be at the Allied Powers Wrestling Federation show. He came back from, what was his injury, Chris? If you don't mind, I'm not sure.
I don't want to necessarily speak out of turn, but as I recall, I believe he dislocated his shoulder.
Oh, well, anyway, he is back. He is rehabbed. I seen his promo where he came out at one show. I bet you there was like 2,000 people come out, and he fucking came out. I don't know him personally. I seen him wrestle once.
Yes.
He came out, and it was a fucking, they popped for him because he came out and saved the face. And I'm believing it was, I don't know if it was Empire, which I've never been to a show.
I believe it was an ESW show, but I'm not 100% positive.
And it was, I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, it was packed. It was, other places besides Western Pennsylvania, they do pack a lot of fans in these shows. So, I just wanted to give a shout out to him because he's got a 4-day loop coming, and he's ending with us, and I appreciate him.
Indiana. That's 7 hours, buddy. That's a 7-hour drive.
So, I mean, 4-day loop, wrestling, coming back from surgeries or injuries, and coming back and kicking ass and taking names, and he'll be in a tag match against one of the hottest people, Spencer Slade, and the Italian of Excellence. And I met him, and he's going on some NWA. He'll be working NWA Saturday. There's a lot of wrestling going on. I mean, there's so much wrestling right now. Independent wrestling is so hot right now. It's unreal.
The month of June is a crazy busy month for independent wrestling. It really is.
Yeah, and it's crazy for, us. And I wanted to say something, this real quick, is the rescheduled Tyson fight. November 15th. Tyson's going to kick his ass, just saying.
Yeah, it was canceled. They put it back on.
Yeah, Kal-El, your boy's going to get his ass kicked, and I just can't wait.
Yeah. So. Paul has how many more months to fashion a kryptonite bullet to try to stop Mike Tyson?
Yeah. Yeah, and I just want to say, like, next week, we're going to do our WWE pay-per-view picks for the Castle. I got to go through the last ones. I have the sheets. I've been, me. But we're doing a giveaway next week. 2 general admission tickets for the show on June 23rd. Larry put something out. Somebody's going to come on and give their best wrestling impersonation or something like that. They got to come on the show and do it. And they're going to get 2 tickets for the June 23rd show, which I have right here again, Evolution. And I do want to give a thank you to all the sponsors. without this show could not be possible because one Pittsburgh Club sandwich, Wellback Insurance. Chris, I want you to say this one with the Blue Mountains.
That's Optimal Heights Physical Therapy.
That's right, and I appreciate them. Shadco PP&J's just opened up their convenience store as of the other day. If you guys like deli meats, and I never ate a Buckeye. I don't know what a Buckeye is, but he has a Buckeye.
It's a peanut butter ball covered in chocolate.
Yeah, well, I never ate one before. Yucatan Canning Salon. Okay, well, I'm going to go over Stronghold Training Center. If you guys want to become a wrestler, the main event is sponsored by 15701 and AHT Chad Henry, Dave Smith, State Farm and Climber, Alley Cat Beverage, a proud sponsor of the Triple B Experience and all the beer downstairs in my bar. Frank Morano's Break All Productions affiliation, Shane Brandenburg at Aflac Insurance, Troy Fritz at the Bunker Club, Mr. Troy Fritz himself, and also one of our newest sponsors is Wellness for Veterans, one of the proud sponsors. So, I mean, thank you, all the sponsors. I couldn't do it without. I mean, we all been working hard, man. So after the 23rd, we'll take a little breath, and then it goes right back to this one. August 24th and October 26th at the Castle. That complex is great. I know Chris has wrestled in that complex before.
I have.
I have never promoted in the Cambria County or Johnstown as Allied Powers Wrestling. We've been in Winber under different company name, but never as the Allied Powers Wrestling Federation. We will be down there. I met with Tony last week. We're looking to have a press conference down there, and if Chris is available, he'll be coming down. Shane, whoever wants to come down, we will be down there whenever Tony lets us know, and we'll be ready to go. And ladies and gentlemen, if you live in Indiana, it's not that far. From my house to the Castle is 30 minutes, give or take, and that's not far at all, for real. I drive 30 minutes to my job every day. And I'd rather go to a wrestling show than my job. So, I mean, but can't wait to take his ass to take a nap on the mat. I don't know who he's talking about, but Jason Stewart, Chris Ward, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I appreciate, all the comments tonight, especially the Doctor Who intangibles, because I don't know anything about him until tonight. I still don't, but I'm going to work on it. So we had a lot of comments in our Facebook section. I do appreciate that. I'm trying to get that to the Steelers Dynasty podcast. So please, if you haven't subscribed to that, please do, because this is two different channels with two different formats where we talk pulp culture and wrestling and just shoot the shit on this show. And in the other show, we talk Steelers. Sometimes we go off a little bit tangible, but not too much on the Steelers show. So, but, before I get out of here, Shane, do you have anything you like to promote before we get out of here?
Guys, if you're on Facebook, just go to YouTube, type in Steelers Dynasty Podcast. 3 words, Steelers Dynasty Podcast. You'll find it. You'll see there. Bubba. It looks like that. Click like and subscribe, or subscribe and then like. Let's just get the subscriptions up.
Yeah.
Because if you're watching us here, it's just as easy to watch us over there. Click the notification button, which is a little bell. You click that, and then your phone will let you know when we're going live, which is every Wednesday at 9. That's it.
And what about your other stuff?
Yeah, you can see me 8 o'clock on Thursdays and Fridays on the Voice of College Football.
There you go. World Beater. Do you have anything you like to promote?
Absolutely. Next Saturday night, June the 15th, Imagine Wrestling. We're in Altoona at the Juniata Civics Association building.
There you go.
There's that graphic. Bubba, thank you.
You're welcome.
Obviously, I will be defending my world heavyweight title against Lucio DeVere. The Rad Boys, Jimmy the Hippie, all the stars of Imagine are going to be there. It should be a really great night of wrestling. And then also June the 23rd, in a few weeks here, we have the APWF show.
The return.
The return of Team Tap Out.
Win, lose, or draw. This is the Hollywood story.
Yep. Main event is Bill Collier versus NWA World Heavyweight Champion, provided he gets past PB Smooth this weekend, EC3. So those two shows are what I have coming up. Imagine also has a show June 22nd at the Sykesville Ag Show. I am not available for that show. I have a prior engagement, but they are still running that show up in Sykesville the night before the APWF show. So I want to give that a plug as well.
And one more last wrestling plug, IWC. The only reason why I'm giving IWC a plug is big time Bill Collier. Congratulate him on the longest reigning IWC heavyweight championship and all, going down in the record books. If you guys would like to get a ticket next, the 22nd of June to see him, be the top of the mountain, that's a record that probably will never, ever be broken in independent wrestling around here. Probably not. So hats off to him. I mean, he's the shit, man. I don't care, man. He's legitimately the real deal. Hats off to him, and he will be in Indiana on the 23rd, and it's my pleasure and my honor to actually have him available to be booked. He's a wanted man, so it's just I wish him the best, and he did break the record, but he probably going to be breaking somebody's back on the 22nd at IWC. So hats off to him. So guys, thank you guys so much for coming on tonight and opening my horizons about some sci-fi stuff. So I appreciate it. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. You guys all have a great night. We'll be back next Friday with all more of us. We're going to do our WWE picks. We'll shoot the shit and do like we always do next Friday night, maybe a little earlier. It all depends because some people have to work and I can adjust accordingly. So maybe we'll do that a little early, and Kal-El could probably be 5 out of 5 probably, but I don't think he did this good this time. And I'll get all that stats and scores next week for everybody. So everybody, thank you guys. Chris, Shane, have a great night. Everybody, we'll see you. Have a great weekend. And like I said, get your tickets, www.apwwrestling.com. You drive by my house, take a beep. Tickets will be at the door. Sign, and tickets will also be at the door. But the ringside first and second are almost sold out. So you got to get them quick, man. I know it's payday because I got paid today. So everybody, take care. Have a great night and a better tomorrow. See ya.